Yo, what up, family? We're back. Back for another episode of Wholesale Hard Knocks. What's going on with y'all?
What's up, brother? What's up? I'm glad we got an awesome guest today.
Dude, our guests just keep getting better and better. Literally. So just for a background for Ben, I met Ben at an event probably about a month or two ago. And there was just something about Ben where his energy just attracted to me. I was like, yo, this guy's freaking high energy. Who is this dude? So all of a sudden we start chatting and we kind of get into the weeds deep into some stuff. Within the first like 5-10 minutes of us chatting, I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Who is this guy? And I realized that he's just a really humble, AKA Ben Humble, a really humble dude that brings a lot of energy to the table. So I'm excited for this one. Ben, how are you, bro?
Boys, good to be here. Time for some community service. That's what we're here for.
I love
Serve
that.
the community. You feel me?
There.
Mandatory. We all have to do it. So, guys, I'm ready. Let's go.
I love that, bro. So could you introduce yourself and let the people know what you got going on and where you came from and all that cool stuff?
Yeah, for sure. My wife doesn't like tattoos, so I decided to go ahead and put this hat on. I wear this every single day. And it basically means one thing, that regardless of where you started in life, you ultimately decide where you end up. I started in a communist country of Romania. I'm the oldest of 9 kids. My daddy had a vision and said, I need better for my life. God told him to just run. So we ran, we fled communism on foot. We landed in a refugee camp for about a year. And then we were privileged enough to come and live in Canada. And during that time, I lived in Canada 30 years and just built a business, did music, did all kinds of cool stuff. But I grew up with immigrant parents, working 2-3 jobs. My very first thing, I got in university, I'm playing instruments, and my teacher says, you're probably the most talented, laziest kid we got. And I'm like, that sucks. She's like, you'll never make it as a high school music teacher. I was like this. Watch my face. What? High school music teacher? I ain't here for that. I was like, I'm here to play. And she was like, you're never going to make it. I was like, man, this opportunity is too small for me. So I dropped out and went looking for bigger opportunities. So along the way, I realized I'm not trying to play in dive bars the rest of my life. I'm not trying to play my music on the side of the road. I'm not trying to be a high school music teacher. I want to create something amazing. So I got this idea. Just get into business, figure out the money, and then get out. Get out as soon as you can. Don't get all romantic about it. Don't get over passionate about it. So it took me 15 years. I grinded. I learned about the business. I made tremendous amount of mistakes. It was lonely for the first 5, 6, 7 years. I eventually realized I needed some help. I got me a mentor. I dropped the ego. I had a little bit of an identity crisis. And I came out the backside just this amazing version of me. I've been on hardcore personal development for many years. I live in abundance. I'm always smiling, always positive. So the energy you see is one key word, intentionality. I don't waste time. I don't waste energy. And I'm not in this business to make money. I'm in this business for freedom. That's it. Because after you make some money, you're going to realize you're not going to have any time or energy left. So instead of trading it and treating it like a job, I decided to turn it into a real thing. So hired teams, built this out. We started a community in Canada called Cash Flow Tribe. Shout out to all my Cash Flow Tribe folks. And basically, we love it on people every day. I love doing deals with a lot of people. I love helping and serving a lot of people. I like playing music. I like creating an amazing, abundant life. I've been traveling the last year and a half. You saw me. I'm basically on the road, hanging out, living out my Porsche. Hotel to hotel with my wife and my dog. And we just decided to kind of chill out here in Scottsdale, Arizona, because why not? Why not? So I've been here for the last couple of months. That's my life, man. I'm 37. We run a multi-million-dollar real estate team. We run a mastermind. We run a community in Canada. We've got about 25 staff, and we're running retreats. We're just doing all the good things that I love to do. And most of all, I'm playing music and giving glory back to my God who made all this stuff happen for me. So that's my whole life, man. At 37, for me, I'm like, we made it. We're here. We're having a good time. Ain't nothing serious enough about this business where you got to live in depression all day. Just wake up. Let's go have some fun, man.
That's what it's all about, bro. Just having fun in all the steps. So could you go back to when you started, before you essentially hired a big team and before you had the mentor and everything? What was that like? Like, it sounds like you might have had some trials and tribulations in the beginning.
Of course, man. I'm in music school, and I just dropped out. And if you're a poor immigrant kid, every poor immigrant kid does one thing. They know how to clean, right? Because my dad had a cleaning job. My mom had a cleaning job. My little sister had a cleaning job. We all had cleaning jobs. So I dropped out and I started a carpet cleaning company. Why? Because I found a guy who showed me how to use the steam machine. And I just bought a $5,000 machine. I got a loan from the bank, had no money. I'm just cleaning carpets. My very first customer was my mom. She let me clean my own room for $100. That's how you start. So we're cleaning carpets, and I'm doing this for years. And what I learned the value of just hard work. Just eat the shit. Eat it every day. Just go to the thing. I learned how to become a hard worker because most of my cleaning jobs were at nighttime. I would go clean the Toys R Us after some kid peed on it. I would go clean, Shoppers Drug Mart and grocery stores and all this stuff. I used to do a lot of commercial jobs. And I just learned to work. And at nighttime, I would work all day, all night, and then I would sleep until about 10, 11, and then I'd have all day to figure life out. So when I finally learned about this thing of real estate, I read one passage in an old Kiyosaki book, and it said, if you want to be a millionaire, you buy $1 million worth of real estate, and then you have somebody pay it off for you. These people are called tenants or customers. And at the end of the 25-year mortgage, you own these things free and clear. You're a millionaire. I was like, that opportunity is better than me trying to clean carpets at 10 cents a square foot. So my very first deal was me just being this carpet cleaner dude. I joined some local meetup groups. There was a local BNI business networking group. And there was a dude who was a mortgage broker. And I was like, man, I just want to buy a piece of real estate. I don't even know how to get into this stuff. Nobody in my family is really doing this. How do I do it? And he said, dude, just go to the bank. So I go to the bank and they said, nope, you don't have the credit. I was 21 years old at the time. You don't have a job because you have this little cleaning service. You don't have the right notice of assessments or years in business. So I said, that sucks. I go back to dude. And I was like, man, I need something else. Find me a solution for private money. And he said, well, there's a whole group of people out there called private lenders. He said, if you can plead your case, if you can go ahead and, come in with a lot of conviction and commitment, you can do a deal. So I ended up doing my very first deal was a duplex in Windsor, Canada. I bought it for $126,000. I actually bought it off of the mortgage broker. He told me it was a crap deal from day one. He's like, I got a piece of crap property. You can have it. I was like, wow, that's amazing. Thanks, bro. He's like, you can have it though. It's a piece of crap. It used to be a convenience store. I turned it into a duplex. The outside still looks like a convenience store. I was like, wow, man, what do I got to do? He's like, you got to get a private loan. You got to basically sign off on your life, and you're going to have to take this property as is conditioned. So I was like, whatever I got to do. He's like, oh, by the way, there's a guy who lives downstairs who's disabled, and he's a tenant, and you have to keep him. I was like, okay, cool. I'm good with that. So I took on the property. I was able to get a private loan. I had to do whatever I had to do to get that thing working. I bought that first property. I moved into the upstairs, and I was living there for $156 a month plus utilities. That's what got me out of mom's basement at 21 years old. And I called my little brother, because back in the day, when you have a big family, you don't have a lot of options for food. I went and bought every freaking cereal that I could find. I'm talking the Lucky Charms, the Count Choculas, all that stuff, man. I bought 2 jugs of milk. I was like, bro, we feasting tonight. Come on over. I got cereal. Yo, I got a TV. I got an Xbox. Let's go, right? And this is back at 21. So that was kind of what happened is I got my first deal. As soon as I got that bug and I saw that it was possible, I'm cleaning carpets. I got my second deal 6 months later, same kind of thing. I got my third deal. And by the time I got married at 23 years old, I had 3 duplexes. I was living for free, and I had 5 tenants living in these properties, and I was still cleaning carpets. So part-time investor, full-time carpet cleaner. And I learned, and I think every young person needs to realize this, every young person needs to become way more resourceful. You need a service business. You need something where you can just learn to eat shit all day. I don't care if it's window cleaning, carpet cleaning. Do something where you just got to deal with customers. You have to learn how to invoice people. You have to learn how to be relatively professional. You have to learn how to have a good energy. If you can be successful as a carpet cleaner, you can be a multi-millionaire as a real estate investor.
I love that concept, bro.
Yo, so honestly, bro, it sounds like I really want to know where this mindset came from, right? Like, it seems like since a youngin', right? You wanted to work for yourself, right? Where did that come from? Because it seems like you're just when something comes into your head, it's like, I'm doing it and nothing's gonna stop me. which is
Well,
awesome.
guys, I think one advantage, dude, that God gave me this gift of creativity. So I played music growing up. I wanted to create something for my life. So some young people, we have this thing, Daryl, where it's like, God, you're a creative type. You like music. You like content. You like creating stuff. You don't want to be in the box. You don't want somebody to tell you what to do all day. Part of it too, also, when you escape a communist country and you leave all your family and people behind that you know, and you come to a brand new country and you start from the bottom, it's like the only way is up, dude. It's up or in the ground. That's all you got. So like, why not go big? Like, why would you go, I want to go up, but let me just go to level one? When that teacher told me, you never going to make it as a music teacher, I was like, Steve, please. What do you mean I'm never going to make it as a music teacher? I'm not here to be a music teacher. That's level one goals. I want to go to level 10. And it was just my own arrogance as a teenager to go, man, I'm going to rebel against this system. I'm not trying to have a job. My music teacher was miserable. I like that dude, but he was never happy. He was just always complaining about one thing or another. I'm not trying to be this guy. What am I going to school for and paying money to be this dude? So I think when you're a young person and you're super arrogant and you're rebellious, there's a little bit of a superpower in that. But if you can channel it towards growth, if you channel it towards destruction, then it's not going to win. So I just chose real early in life. I can be glass half full and work towards stuff, and I'm going to have stress, or I can be glass half empty and fight and always be a victim, and I'm going to have stress. Which stress do you want? The distress, the negative stress that everybody has, or the eustress, which comes from euphoria? Eustress is good stress. It's the kind of stress that when you work out, you put strain on your body, that's good stress. You grow a business, that's good stress. I'm trying to have a bunch of healthy stress. Ain't nobody trying to sit around and just, do this all day. I want good quality stress. So, dude, I'll be honest, I was rebelling. I wanted good stress. And I wasn't a bad kid. I didn't get into a bunch of nonsense, but I was rebelling against what I thought was available to me. Because I was like, don't effing tell me what I can have in this life. I'm an immigrant. I already came here. I'm already here. I see people driving nice cars and living in nice homes. I need that. And I think at some point, dude, you got to wake up and go, what do you want? It's not what you can have. What do you want? If you want something bigger, you're going to have to fight and you're going to have stress. But if you do it, we live in the most amazing countries in the world. This is freaking North America, man. It don't matter. You either go up or you go down. You got to choose. So again, the reason I wear this is it doesn't matter about your adversity. I love people from adversity. I don't care if you came up as a minority, you came up in poverty. It doesn't matter. You have to choose to get out. And if you don't choose, well, then the world's going to choose for you and you're going to be a victim. So it just came from this angst, brother, where I was like, we're doing this. That's it. End of story. I got to clean shit. I'm going to clean some shit. Nobody wants to clean carpets. I clean some carpets. Nobody wants to clean up the puke at the Home Depot. I'll do that. And I was doing all this stuff. And in a way, it's arrogant, but in another way, it's like, I'm just looking for my opportunity. Living live at the edge of my seat, dude. That's the attitude that I had.
That's interesting, bro. So, from the jump, from when you were young, you weren't destructive with it. Like for me, for example, I was destructive. I had that mindset where I was like, yo, screw that. I ain't doing no job or whatever. But I did destructive things instead. And it was some mindset things that I had to overcome to get to the next steps. But it sounds like you just went right into it. Is that right?
Well, dude, I did because I was willing to face my mortality. One of the greatest things a young person can have is vision. I just do this exercise where I look out in my life, and when I'm 80 years old, sitting in a rocking chair, I'm asking myself, what did you do in this world? What'd you do? Your dad sacrificed a lot to come here at 27 years old. Dude's got 5 kids and runs across the border. What'd you do? When you're 80 years old, what did you do for your family? What did you do for your community? What did you do for your creator? What did you do for yourself? Did you live a life of abundance? Were you a great person? Did you have, did you have a 6-pack financially, mentally, emotionally, relationally? Did you have that stuff? Or are you going to be 80 years old sitting there going, well, I missed all these chances. I was too afraid of opinions, too afraid of failure. I just looked out, Mike. I had vision. I was like, when I get to my old age, I want to honor my dad because my dad sacrificed to bring me here. So, dude, it's an easy decision. Once you decided you're going to win, doors keep opening. But you got to be so ready. Like when the door opens, you step in through first. And that's what intentionality is. That's my secret weapon, guys. If somebody's talking about real estate, I'm doing real estate. Somebody's talking about business, I'm buying a carpet cleaning machine and going to work for $100. I don't care. But I think too many people are like, what should I do? Don't worry about it. Just do. I
Mm.
mentor people every day. I mentor, we've got multimillionaires that I mentor on a consistent basis. Most of us play games and create stories in our brains. And from those stories, it dictates the rest of our life. Change the story. I just told myself, when you're 80 years old in that rocking chair, you did amazing things, man. You impacted millions of people. You did awesome stuff in this world. You had all the luxury, all the money, all that stuff, and you had a whole bunch more. A lot of gratitude, positive mental health. And when you do that, you just engineer the outcome and you go, crap, I got to change who I am.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way I'm going to get there. And I realized, Mike, at an early age, I was like, dude, I got to develop a work ethic. Ain't no way around it.
Do you think that came from your parents at all?
Dude, I saw my parents work their ass off for years. Of course it did. But we would go to cleaning jobs, and I was trying to be a musician, so we'd go clean the church, right? And we'd clean the church. They have a piano, so I would like, as a teenager, I'd like, yo, mom, can I go play the piano? You guys clean the church. So like all my brothers and sisters, they'd be out vacuuming, taking out garbage, and because I'm trying to play piano, mom's like, go play piano. I'm trying to live my dreams. So I escaped, like for a few years, not doing hardcore cleaning because I was playing the piano. And then, dude, when I started the cleaning business, I made up for every moment of piano playing that all my siblings ever had to clean. I made up for all that stuff. So I saw my parents have a hard work ethic, but it wasn't until I had to encounter the truth, Mike, that I developed my own work ethic. The truth was, hey, man, you're a lazy kid and you're a talented kid. All right, cool. If you want to have what you want to have in this life, you better start working. And I just became the biggest freaking workaholic. And there's a problem to that too, but I got out of it. Became the freaking biggest grinder you could think of, just working all day, every day, nothing else mattered. Because I was like, I'm not getting into business to stay in business. I'm getting into business to get out. That's it. The more intention I put into this thing, the more serious I take this thing, the better I manage my time and energy, the faster I can get out. And I think a lot of people, one of my mentors talks about this, everybody will teach you how to get into wholesaling. Everybody will teach you how to get into investing. Almost nobody teaches you to get out. So you do all this work to just become a slave to the game. And that wasn't the play. That was never the move for me.
I love that. So, I mean, I'm currently in that situation right now. Like I'm currently I'm going live every single day till I scale my business to 10 deals a month. Right. And the main thing I'm focusing on is scaling out. It's called scale out, literally. So what would you say was the biggest thing like you removed yourself from first? The first thing you removed yourself from in the business? Because we all know, like when you're first starting, you're wearing every single hat, right? You're doing acquisitions, dispo, TC, lead gen, you're doing everything, right? What was the number one thing you just said, okay, I need to remove myself from here first so everything else can start going smooth?
So let me give you some context. To me, wholesaling wasn't the start of real estate. Wholesaling was the solution to my already existing business. So I was a landlord. I started selling a bunch of properties. As I was selling properties, I realized that I could make more money and help some people by doing vendor take-back financing. So I started a lending business, doing financing. I started raising capital. I eventually was flipping, 5, 10, 15 houses a month or every other month. So started getting a renovation crew. And I'm in my mid-20s. I'm 26, 27. I've got guys working for me. I got trailers. I got a couple of trucks. I got hand tools. And I got to the point, dude, where I had about 13 people on staff, 8 of which were like, boots on the ground construction guys. I had a couple trailers. I had 3 or 4 people working in a small little tight office. And, we got to the point where we were flipping, let's just say, 3, 4, 5 houses a month, every other month. So we were doing that and we really ran out of houses because the inventory started drying up. I didn't know anything about wholesaling. And then somebody said to me one time, it's like, hey man, why don't you do wholesaling? I'm like, what is that? They're like, oh, go find your own deals. I was like, okay, cool. What does that look like? So when I learned wholesaling, it was to solve an existing need, which was if I don't find the properties in inventory, I got to fire my renovation guys. So it kind of, I get into this thing. And as soon as I jump in, I spent 2 months, I shut down everything else. I just learned this wholesaling game, all this stuff. So I started doing wholesaling. And what was amazing was I had enough work for my guys and I started wholesaling everything else. So it's keep the best, wholesale the rest. That was the model. So for me, my very first kind of real hire was a project manager because I was flipping properties. If I could get off the tools, I could get to the paperwork. Most people are trying to do wholesaling, but they don't have an active business yet. Wholesaling is their active business. Wholesaling for me was nothing more than a supply chain. I just needed something inventory for my own company. And then I started wholesaling a bunch of properties that were leftovers. And then I realized that wholesaling was amazing. So we started doing more and more of that. So for me, we break down business into marketing, sales, operations, finance, and people. And the first thing, to answer your question, when I started actively wholesaling, I already had all these folks. The first thing I started doing was going, what is my greatest skill set? And for me, it was sales. I was pretty good at talking to sellers. I developed a knack for the conversation. I love working with people in tough situations because my daddy's a pastor now. So, I've been around people and stuff my whole life, tough situations. So I kept the best and I outsourced or hired the rest. I didn't like doing administration and paperwork. Frankly, it was a big waste of my time. So my very first person, other than my team of, flipping people and project manager, was somebody who was doing all my deal coordination. I was like, you manage the paperwork and I'm going to just get out there and hustle and grind. And as we got more and more phone calls, I started slowly removing myself from areas that weren't my strengths. I was like, I don't like marketing. I'm not great at marketing. Let me go ahead and hire somebody to do marketing. So now we got somebody doing content, somebody doing lead generation, somebody doing all this stuff. I just focused on sales because that's what I was great at. When I finally was in the position to exit the sales, I knew that I had a real business. But it wasn't until that moment. So I'm picking the pieces that I'm the worst at based on my skills, my aptitude, my desire. I only do stuff that I'm great at. And I love doing sales. And if you don't like doing sales, you should be running a really strong operation where you're the operational head and go ahead and find salespeople. So this was my key ingredient, dude. That was the first hire. And it just went boom, 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 disposition thing. Before I knew it, I had 10 people in the office wholesaling houses every day. We keep some inventory. So there's, 20 people in this enterprise. And it was just freaking awesome, bro. We're just cranking deals. And Canada is much, much harder than the US. And I'll tell you why. We don't have access to data. You guys have in the United States the Freedom of Information Act, right? We have the exact opposite. It's called the Privacy Information Protection Act. You can't get shit, nothing. All of our stuff is basically organic, or you got to be real clever and build some technology like scrapers and stuff like that.
So do you do a lot of driving for dollars, probably?
Driving for dollars, direct mail campaigns. You do a lot of referral business. We actually created a bird dog company called Lead Ninja. And we had like 30 to 40 people that were literally doing guerrilla marketing campaigns. They would go ahead and find these leads. We gave them a link to our custom beast mode Podio. They would upload into Podio. My sales team would then make the connection. If we got the deal under contract, they're basically an affiliate for us. And we would work the deal, sell the deal, all that stuff. And then they would get paid forever. So if you have a link in my Podio, even today, years and years later, and we close it in a follow-up, we're going to cut you a check for it because your name is attached to that lead. So we had to create very organic kind of marketing initiatives. Otherwise, it got super expensive. I dropped 85 grand just on direct mail one month. We got up to over $100,000 in marketing, and it can be fruitful and it can be an absolute disaster too. If your sales machine isn't tight, if your follow-up isn't tight, if your organization isn't tight, dropping 100 grand a month can be kind of scary, right? Because we're in like 7 different markets hitting it. I'm like, hit the list. But humble, hit the list. Let's go. I'm like Cardone, hit the list. That was me. We're trying to hit these lists over and over again. So we had to become masters of sales. We couldn't afford to just, at $150 cost per lead, we couldn't afford to blow through leads. We had to be really intelligent about how we did these things.
That makes a lot of sense, bro. That's interesting. So I was on a call with Kent Clothier the other day for one of the Avengers calls. And dude, it hit me hard where his message pretty much was like, bro, you don't have time. Like, you have to do this now. You have to scale out of your business now. And it started stressing me out. And I'm like, crap. Because I'm at the point where you said, hey, keep the best, outsource the rest. I'm pretty much at the point where I'm only doing sales at the moment. There's some more things that I need to do, but I'm like, crap, I have to get rid of this. I don't necessarily, I want to, but I don't necessarily want to because I like it. But with what Kent was saying, he was like, bro, you have no other option. It's your duty to do it. So with that being said, when you went from your sales day to day, right, in your business to outsourcing that, what did that look like?
So, dude, we all work so hard to become grinders. We develop an identity around this thing. And when somebody tells you, like Kent, we're in the same mastermind, right? Hey, man, you got to get out. Oh, come on, bro. Like, I just barely got in. What you mean I got to get out?
Well, that's how I feel.
I just got in. And listen, he's not wrong. Here's the trick, though, that I realized. Number one, you got to realize there's way more abundance. And if you love sales, you're going to do sales, but at a different, higher level. You're going to be negotiating either bigger deals. You'll be negotiating with your teams. You'll be getting into more sales training. So it's not that you're not going to do sales, but you'll do it differently. I love sales too, but it's just not me. And it's no longer me, with the old person trying to sell their home one-on-one doing deals all day. Now it's me training my sales team to do that stuff. Now it's me doing deals that are higher volume. Now it's me doing different types of, so you can still be a sales driver and a leader in your organization, but there's bigger fish for us to work on. Otherwise, we get a little bit complacent. We're like, we're great at this sales. Yeah, but this level of sales is T-ball, and we got to go to the big leagues. So the way that I got over my identity issue with this was go, hey, man, you read the book E-Myth Revisited, and it was like, dude, you're just a technician in your own business. You can still do sales, but now you're selling different stuff. I love sales. You know what my hardest sales today is? Selling executives in my company, going to find $150,000 employees. That's the sales I do. So I shifted from sales direct to seller, sales direct to new career employees. That's a whole different game of sell, bro. It's harder sell. It's a different sell. You have to understand people, psychology at a different level. So you can still feed that skill set, but you're going to feed it differently. So I had to remove my identity around me being this solo grinder, and it was hard as hell. So Kent's not wrong. You do have to get out. Not because you're going to fail necessarily tomorrow, but if you don't actually build your enterprise, you never fulfill the prophecy, the vision. We got in this to build a real business, not to sit on a beach all day, but to do fun, amazing things. Go negotiate a bigger deal. Go do sales on a bigger capacity. Go do sales with a team of 10 people. Go do sales to a position where you can actually scale your individual effort. But it's hard for us as an identity seeker to go, man, my identity is wrapped up in this small business guy, as a grinder. Gary Vee screwed us all up, man. Like, punt to your 20s, be a grinder. And we're like, yeah, we're a grinder. And then you meet Kent is like, stop being a grinder, change your identity, be a leader. Oh, man, I don't want to do that. I barely got to be a good grinder. Like, you got great at football. This dude's telling you to go play baseball. It's hard. But the reality is it comes back to what do you want? I have both in my life. I have mentors that they love being the grinder. Their identity is wrapped up in the grinder. They're happy being the grinder. So they're like, I'm just being the grinder, and they'll make what they make a year, and they'll just do their life around grinding. That's okay for them. I've literally seen both, and I've adopted both. And I have other mentors who go, I'm the magician, not the mule. Everybody else does the work. I'm behind the scenes doing different types of work. So I think it comes back to this, Mike. You got to decide, what do you actually want? I want to play music all day. Again, talk to me 10 years from now. Put yourself in that context and go, what is Mike 10 years from now doing? What's the vision for your life? Are you going to an office? Are you doing sales calls? Are you doing stuff? What's the value of the deal flow? I call it like the velocity of money. How much money is moving through your bank account every 30 days, 10 years from now? If you want it to be millions of dollars versus tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands, something needs to change. Either you need way more people generating sales, you got to go work on much bigger deals as a sales driver, or you need enterprises, you need companies that are working, producing revenue and giving you a net profit. So these are the questions that we have a hard time, because the thing in front of us is super attractive and it's available. So I think you all have to go back to that point. What do you want? Because for 5, 6 years, I just wanted to grind, and I was kind of happy doing that. But eventually I hit a brick wall. All of our bodies are going to give out. Our mind is going to give out. Ed Milet says that at a price, you're going to sell your will. I'm going to make $10 million. When you make $1 million, bro, you're not trying to go for 10 million as hard as you were trying to go when you were flat broke. Because a part of your body goes, I got my house, I got my car, I got my comforts, right? Then you start to go, am I sure that I want $10 million? Or do I want $5 million and all of my free time back and work 1 hour a day? You start to reprioritize your life and the things that matter to you. At the beginning, we all want more money. When you have enough money, dude, at 30 years old, I made $1 million, Mike. And I'm looking at my balance sheet. My wife and I were going to plan this thing called the Millionaire Party, because we were living frugal AF. You feel me? Like we lived in one of our duplexes for 5 years and all this stuff. Like I'm going to buy a Lambo. I'm going to do this stuff. We're going to go spend $10,000 on clothes. And me and my wife are getting all excited, dreaming about it. And I'm sitting there on like Christmas Eve. We look at our balance sheet and we like overshot for like 150 grand. And I'm like, we made it. We're millionaires. And I'm getting all excited. And then all of a sudden, like a thing hit me. I'm not going to do any of that shit. I ain't going to buy nothing because I just became a workaholic. That's all I did. I just learned how to work. So we literally did this. We went to bed and I went back to work the next day. And I had to encounter this thing, which was you don't actually want the $1 million. You just wanted the safety and security and stuff that it protected. You wanted the freedom so you never have to go back to communist country. And I had to outwork that problem in my brain. I had to get smarter. Eventually, I did buy the Lambo because my mentor told me you have to check boxes in life mentally, physically, and emotionally. If you don't check the box, you never feel good enough. You always feel inadequate. So eventually, I went out and bought a Lambo and a Porsche. I dropped a mint in one weekend because I wanted to check those boxes. So sometimes we got to be careful that the thing we want, the money, may not actually be the thing we want. For some of us, we go, I want to have a business, but you have to know what comes with that territory. Employees, mouths to feed, real responsibility. You got to have vision. You can't be off your game if you're a leader. Like I have my company now where I've been extremely blessed. We've had a CEO for the last year. I've been able to move back into a founder role. Why? Because this dude is better as a CEO. I'm better as a founder these days. Because there's certain things I'm just not willing to do. And there's certain things that I desperately need to do. So I think, Mike, when you decide who you want to be, then you can decide what role you have in life. For me, I want to be a creative. So dude is right if that's what you want. Mm-hmm. But I have other people who, bro, they're successful. They're worth 20, 30 million bucks. And you can have this convo all day. They don't want that life. They want to grind. They feel good about it, you know? They feel good going to the office and doing deals. So we got to take a step back and go, when you're 80, what do you want? And if that's what you want, then follow the path.
I love that. It's funny that you brought up Ed Milet too, because I was actually thinking of one of his quotes while you were talking, and he always says like when his biggest fears is when he dies, right? We're all gonna die, right? He says his biggest fear is when he sees himself when he dies, that guy is like a complete stranger, right? That full potential that he could have reached is a complete stranger, right? So he wakes up every single day like chasing that person, chasing his future self. You know, and that's awesome. And it all starts with, like you said, knowing what you want. If you don't know what you want, you're going to lay in bed all day till 12 o'clock in the afternoon because you don't have no goals, right? You don't have any priorities. So definitely, that's so important, bro.
I'll give you a tactical tip on this for the audience because that's why we're here to serve these people. Mm-hmm. So there's knowing who you want to be. You should decide who you want to be. What kind of person you want to be? I used to have a little bit of an anger problem. I converted that into a happiness problem, right? I chose, I don't want to live angry. I don't want to get upset easily. I don't want to have drama in my life. So I had to go through this whole thing to develop into being this kind of person who's always abundant. It's either this dude or some arrogant, angry dude. Which one do you want? Like that dude doesn't serve me. So I had to know who I wanted to be. And this powerful thing that my mentor Mark talks about is the how on the how. It's not enough to know that, you know, how you're going to build a business. But how are you going to behave and how are you going to show up when you build your business? You want to build a business where you grind 10 hours a day, you by yourself in an office? Or you want to build a business where you're working 1 hour a day remotely because you have people, teams, and stuff? It's not about how much dollars you make. It's about the quality of those dollars that you make. So I can make $1 million living on this resort where I live, coming into this little cute office to come and do this call and then go back to the swimming pool. Or I can make $1 million grinding every day, driving around in an F-150, trying to get out there and hustle. It's the same $1 million, but the quality of that million is way different. I choose the better quality life. I've chosen it. So again, it's called the how on the how. He also has this thing called the thought on the thought. When you have a thought, do you audit that thinking? Do you take time to reflect on why did I have that thought? Is it productive and healthy for me? Most of us, we struggle with just awareness of what's possible. So I believe my secret weapon, guys, is proximity. I'm in Canada looking at the Americans going, man, these guys are like this Futurama for us. Like you guys are 10 years ahead. I come down here and they're like wholesaling. I'm like, cool. I go back to Canada. Nobody knows how to spell wholesaling. I'm like, sweet, great. I'm going to be #1 wholesaler. And I was. I wrote a book on this stuff. Book was the bestseller, all this stuff. I sold all these copies, and people go, "Oh my God, you're the best wholesaler ever." I'm like, I know, in Canada, you feel me? Because I have an advantage.
Yeah.
So I think you have to know what and how. And if you don't know, like, I don't know who I want to be, I think you need to take time off, reflect, go sit on a beach someplace and start asking yourself those questions. Then who you want to be is in relation to what you are designed to be. Like if you're in this earth and you've got a community and family and stuff like that, who are you designed to be for those people? Were you designed to be a leader in the light? Were you designed to be somebody who in your family who's the one person that gets you out of poverty emotionally and financially? I am. I'm the first millionaire in my family. My dad's from a village with no running water, used to shit outside. Like, you got to decide. I'm designed to be that first one. And from me, there's going to be so many other people. And it's not about my glory. It's about the opportunities that I got. And I think that's how it comes back, is you got to decide who you want to be in this life. Then how are you going to be that person? How are you going to show up with your wife and kids? How are you going to show up with your family? How are you going to show up with your team? How are you going to show up with the people that you know? You going to show up as an arrogant dick or not? Go ahead.
How did Ben find that who? Like who he
Dude,
wanted?
when you go, like, again, I got a creator, so I have a shortcut. My pastor taught me, like, the difference between a Christian and a non-Christian is only one thing. When you have a problem, you go to everything in this world trying to find an answer. When I got a problem, I just go to the cross. We're just as broken. We're just the same kind of people. So I just go, God, help me see it. And I just live in a place of abundance where I'm just walking through open doors. I think doors open for us all the time to who you want to be. But we don't take those meetings and those conversations. Somebody in your life, you're on social media, and you got an Ed Milet or somebody in your life where they're influential and they're a person of significance doing amazing things. And then you got to go, are you supporting that person? Really? Are you putting yourself out there for that person? So this humble thing is drop the ego and just give it a shot. Drop the ego and just ask the question. And Mike, you'll see this with me, bro. Every event I go to, I'm front row. Every event I go to, I make sure people know my name. I'm memorable. I don't want to be forgotten because doors open for people that put themselves out there. So if I appreciate you guys and I'm on social media, I can share your stuff. I can give you a positive support. I can encourage you. You know why? Because people see it. Whether they tell you they see it or not, they see it. So I think you're going to become who you're designed to be when you start behaving like the person you were designed to be. Does that make sense? Yeah. I want to be a person of abundance. I need to behave that way, right? How do I live in abundance? I encourage people everywhere I go. I share, I support everywhere I go. I become indispensable. I read a book years ago. It's called Indispensable. And it says this: when you find important people, what can you do to become completely indispensable to them where they need you? I've had mentors put me up on stage as their top student over and over again. You know why? Because I did it intentionally. My very first mentor, we're touring around the different places in the country. We go to an event here in Phoenix, Arizona. Dude puts me on stage next to Grant Cardone going, "This is my best student." Yeah, that's right. I'm indispensable to you now. Join a mastermind, become the absolute rock star student, and guess what's going to happen? You're going to get stage time. You're going to get a level of, right, positivity. You got to know what keeps people going. People of significance need other people to go, this guy's the real deal. They need validation, credibility. They need testimonials. We all know this, but yeah, we don't do it. We've said, we don't make a comment in the thing because we're afraid of whatever. We're afraid we're not going to be articulate. Just go, "Hey man, really appreciate this comment. Changed my day." Again, he might have people working behind the scenes. He may not. But at some point, you do that long enough, dude, people notice. Doors open. And then you get to walk into the person that you are. "Oh man, this is a generous dude. This is a positive dude." It doesn't matter if you have 5,000 followers or 5 friends at your house. Be the same person. When you behave, you'll become. That's the way that I look at my life. But until you behave like a hard worker, you're not going to be a hard worker. That was my thing, right? Carpet cleaning. I'm going to behave like a millionaire right now. A millionaire wakes up, they go to work, they don't complain, right? They have a positive attitude. They talk nice to customers. That's what a millionaire does. So do that. And you're going to wake up one day going, "Daryl, I made $1 million bucks." And the value wasn't in the money. It's in who I became along the way.
I love that, bro. That you did not tell not one lie. And it's actually funny that you were just talking about like being on stage and being noticed, because that's actually where I'd seen you for the first time a couple of weeks ago at All In, right? Like you were on stage and you were just being you. And I'm like, yo, this guy's the shit. He's awesome. And then funny thing, I talked to Mike a day after, and it wasn't a day after, it was maybe like a week after. He's like, y'all got Ben Humble to come on to our podcast. And I'm like, damn, I just seen him on stage. This guy's awesome. Like, and you're just being you. I love that so much, bro.
Dude, that's a perfect example. So, I'm in all these masterminds because I put myself out there. Proximity is so important. There's only 4 elements to me. There's humility. You got to have humility. You got to have ambition, no problem. We got to have enough humility to put ourselves in environments that are awkward, where you're the small fish in a big pond. You got to have a written plan, something that you can work against towards your goals. And you got to have proximity to people that are winning. I just don't hang out with negative people. I don't hang out with people that watch the news. So Daryl, the way that plays out is my buddy Chris Crone has I have this incredible mission, he tells me. He says, dude, I have this incredible mission to go to Ukraine. I said, Chris, what do you need? I need funding. I need support. Okay, great. That's a door, by the way, for all of us. That's a door. I brought 25 people with me to that event. You know why? Because Carlos called me and said, dude, he's like, I need some people at this event. I said, Carlos, what do you need? I need support. I need people. I need bodies in the room. I got you, bro. Now, how do you get those phone calls? You keep doing this month in, month in, month in, month out, month in, month out, month in, month out. You reach out to people, you support, you connect, right? So I'm in there. Everybody on that stage, just about everybody on that stage is either a friend of mine or I know through a mastermind, just about, minus a couple people. Cool. So Chris is like, I need to raise money for my mission. Every single person in that room had a moment to do something. Every single person had a moment to do. You could have given $50. You could have gave 35, 40 grand. Doesn't matter. It's where your heart is. Most people, though, Daryl, they can't give 30,000 or don't think they can give 30,000. So they don't give anything. They give $0. You know what you can do is give $50. You know why? Because people still see the $50 gift, man. If that's all you have, give that. But I believe in something different. I believe when you show intentionality with your dollars, you don't even have to speak. That's how you get pulled up on stage. Carlos goes, there's a community builder. You know why? Because I brought 25 people. Did you bring 25 of your boys? How many of us went out there and said, I'm going to make an effort for my guy because I believe in him and his mission and his community is powerful. I flew 25 people in from Canada. The flight alone is $600. Then there's the hotel bill. There's people locally who live in Phoenix, y'all, who have friends and family that didn't invite them to this event. And it's just, the intention is down here. And you got to be a little bit convicted about that. If you're in that room, like, man, I didn't make any effort, did I? Nah, you didn't. You came just for you, which is selfish. Instead of bringing your friend, instead of bringing your boy who keeps calling you about getting into wholesale, you didn't invite your guy. Or you invited him, but you were kind of passive about it. You didn't actually bring him. Dude, invite him and bring him. If I have a brother who's struggling, I bring my brother with me. If I have a sister who's struggling, I bring her with me. And when you do that stuff, dude, people go, that's a builder. That guy's significant. That guy's important. Now, it's not for my glory, but it's for my mission. My mission is to impact people and preach my message. I'm an evangelist for my cause. I told Carlos, I said, bro, don't give me a fucking microphone if you don't want impact. My microphone is my favorite instrument and tool of all time. Don't give me a microphone, bro. Because you know me, I'm far too intentional. I can't have a low-level intentional conversation. So when you know that about yourself and you know that, dude, I'm Michael Jordan and that stage is my court and that microphone is my ball, that's the best version of me is right here. That's where you see my heart, you see my intentionality, you see my attitude, you see my aggression and my humility. You see my mission. When you know that about you guys, you show up different. So Daryl, that's why you say I wanted this stage. Now I'm on this call.
That's so crazy, bro. It comes full circle. About that, I wasn't at the All In event, but about it, what was the intention? And Daryl, what was your perception of it? I'm just curious.
Dude, it's a community of people looking to grow, looking to serve, looking to impact. Every time you get in a room like that, it's nothing but abundance. My impression was these guys did an amazing job bringing 1,300 people together in a room. And that's the intention. That's their heart, is to serve and help people. It's amazing. How many people had amazing conversations? How many people were able to connect with people in the room? How many people were able to leave that event inspired because of what these guys put together? Dude, I go to every event. I don't go there for me anymore. I don't go there for the tactical. I don't go there for the one thing I'm going to learn to make my wholesaling business better. Because here's what most people need to understand. Big scale events aren't actually going to help you do your business better. Big scale events are designed for you to connect with other people so you can figure out the who, not the how. You want to figure out the how, get a mentor. You want to figure out the how, go buy a course. That's not what the event is designed. Can you get some tips? Sure. Will you implement the tips? Mostly not. Because most people don't leave with enough intention. I give everybody the secret to events. When you go to an event, you bring your little notepad and you take all your notes, which most people do. And that, what most people don't do is day two. Day two is this. It's a day of solitude where it's you and your notepad and you take all of those notes and you create it into a plan. Most people never do this stuff. If I take your name down at an event, guess what I do on day two? I'm thinking about connecting with you, reaching out to you. How can I plug in with you? How can I support you? I take a whole day afterwards and just recap. If people would start doing that, the event becomes way more powerful. Instead of you giving out your business card and you forgot about it on day two because you got to go do a deal. So know what you're going there for. I go there to connect. I go there to say hello. I go there to meet guys. So I join masterminds for the people because one relationship with you guys financially could be worth millions of dollars to both of us. Emotionally, spiritually, relationally, it could be worth way more. It only takes one person to open the door. So that's what I go for. I go there to be intentional about me and people. That's it. I don't go there to learn stuff because the information is whizzing by you way too quickly for you to try to become a master of wholesaling in one day. It's just an unrealistic expectation.
That's it, right? Like I was actually surprised. Like I think I was actually meant to be in there while you were talking because I was barely in the room, right? I was in the hallway the whole time, connecting with people. My main question when I talk to people and ask them questions is, what's your biggest bottleneck in your business? How can I help? Right? How can I step in? How can we build a relationship where I can help you? And then when I get home, I set up Zoom calls with these people. I send them my calendar. We get on Zoom calls and we figure out how we could work with each other, right? So that's what I was intentional about going there as well. But the whole basis is meeting people, connecting with people, and networking, right? So yeah, Ben hit it on the head. That's the point of going to these events.
Bro, when you're that intentional, dude, you will out network everybody.
Yeah.
I go there here. This is a true story, right? I bought one VIP ticket while we were getting ready to figure out what we were doing with all these Canadians flying in. I bought one VIP. Carlos said, hey, man, can you, bring some folks? I'm like, of course, brother. I love you. I appreciate what you're doing. I got you for sure. So we got all these Canadians, but by the time I go to buy the next VIP ticket, they were completely sold out of VIP. So I give my VIP ticket to my wife. I was like, baby, you go VIP, go hang out with everybody, whatever. I'm going to roll with my pack. I'm going to roll with my tribe. That's what I'm here for. Right? I got all this humble tribe with me. And you probably see everybody wearing the humble gear and all that. That's all intentional, right? So I'm hanging with my tribe, with my thing. Carlos sees me in the hallway. He's like, bro, where's your VIP tag? I was like, bro, I ain't got VIP. I'm here with everybody else. No, man, he is an all access thing. Yo, get this guy an all access. Get you backstage, man. You got to go talk to everybody. No. What's powerful is like, a lot of times when you're just putting in the work in life, you get free backstage passes. You get free meet everybody. You get the relationship. You get somebody who runs the show taking you by the hand going, hey, man, I want you to meet this guy. He's significant. I want you to meet this person. The introduction, you need to know this person is far greater than, hey, I'm Johnny. Here's my business card. I never carry a business card. I stopped years ago. I never carry one. If you forget my name, no business card is going to help me. When I meet you, I'm so intentional that you know exactly who I am next time you see me. You know. I look a certain way, that's on purpose. I talk a certain way, that's on purpose. I behave a certain way, that's all on purpose. I ain't trying to be professional. I ain't trying to be a fake version of myself. I'm not trying to put on a show. I wear a hat, I wear this humble thing, and that's it. And it's memorable. Plus, I get free publicity. Bradley goes, last thing you want to be is humble from stage. And I'm like, me and my whole tribe, we humble. That's okay. Hey, everybody's looking over like, these guys are all humble. Like Bradley said, last thing you want to be is humble. I see you, Brad. Thanks for the publicity, bro.
Yeah.
I'm all good with it.
I like that.
I'm all good with it. So that's what it is, bro. Is aligning with people, being of value, and then before you realize, here's what's going to happen. Every event you go to, it's the same speakers. It's the same message. It's just different brands, different flags. You feel me? When you know every speaker on that stage and you're still going front row, and you're still sitting there supporting your boys, that's when you know that you're creating impact. Because when I have an event, Hey, yo, guys, come out to my thing. Texting people, no problem. No reaching out, no problem. Hey, I'll be there, no problem. I'll support you, no problem. You don't always have to ask and take. Just keep giving value. Keep showing up to people. Pay the dollars. You know, I spent 400 grand plus in personal development, masterminds, coaching over the last few years. $400,000. You know why? Because money speaks louder. When you step up and go, I'm going to give 10 grand, $30,000 to you, Chris, I got you. I'm going to go help Cole build this thing in Haiti. I got you. I'm going to go help this guy do this. I got you. I'm going to join your mastermind. I got you. Don't be afraid to spend money. You can always make money. But you can't make another first impression.
Yeah, bro, that's huge. So essentially, it's spending money to go get in the right rooms.
And being intentional about it. The money's just like a golf club membership. It just gets you in the room. Don't join a mastermind. Be like, I spent my money. You owe me. It doesn't work that way. Everybody spent the same money to get in that room. The money isn't designed for you. It's designed to keep people out. That's it. That's all it is. You paid 30 grand. You kept everybody out who wasn't willing to or couldn't. That's it. Oh, what does that mean? That means that everybody else showed up with the same intention. Now you start the work. When I go to mastermind, guys, it's the same thing. I'm in a room that's 30 grand. Or I'm in a group right now that's $100,000 a year. I get in that group, you're going to remember my name. You're going to know who I am because I got a massive mission, a big ass voice. I'm going to get to know you. I'm going to care about you and your cause. And if there's alignment, it's aligning before grinding. If there's alignment, man, we're going to do some cool things. If there's no alignment, I'm going to just support you because you're a person of influence. If you could pay $100,000 to be in a room, you're a person of influence. You have a community. You have people around you. You have employees. You got a family. You got people that look to you as a leader. If you could pay $30,000, Mike, to be in a room, you're a person of influence. That's it. You could pay $10,000. You're a person of influence. You're a person of influence to somebody. Just make sure you show up like it. And when you do that, Mike, everybody, that's Mike. The last guy I ever want to be is some dude wearing a suit, walking around with no brand, no name, nothing to remember me by, going, good afternoon, nice to meet you. I'm a real estate wholesaler. Are you a wholesaler? That's nice. We should be wholesalers together.
Right. So that's now looking back at it, when we met, it was super intentional. Going back to when I introduced you in the beginning of the podcast, I was like, bro, when I met this guy, within the first 5 minutes, we started getting into the weeds of a very deep conversation. And
because that's how you live life.
Yeah.
Be intentional, guys, about dialogue. It also helps, Mike, that I mentor people all the time and I get into real business. Like business is just life and life is just business. The way you show up in your life is the way you're going to show up in your company. Simple as that. You show up with intentionality here, you're going to live with intentionality here. All right? It's the same way back and forth. It don't matter. Right? I've been married 14 years. If I'm trying to have fornications with my wife, I show up with intentionality. Y'all feel me? Don't be showing up with your wife going, hey, girl. Hey, it's Friday night. It's time. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? Intentionality. That's how you show up in your business, in your life, in your marriage, in your fitness. So, Mike, when we get together, I'm like, hey, man, who are you? A big question people ask is, what do you do? That's the wrong question. Who are you? We all do the same thing. We all trying to make money. We all trying to be in business. We all trying to help people. That's what we do. Who are you, Mike? Mike said, I'm this. If you get to know a man's heart, you get to know the man. If you get to know a man's intentions, then you know the man's mission. If I can know your intentions, Mike, if I can know your heart, dude, then I get to know where you're going and who you are. And that to me is way more powerful than what you got on the go today, because you could be flipping one deal today, Daryl, or 15 deals next month. That don't matter. It's good. It's more dollars in the bank. But who are you trying to do that?
Bro,
you know me? Know his heart, know his mission.
So when you're meeting somebody, you're looking to find their goals and their mission to figure out who they are so that you can essentially be intentional about helping them achieve their goal. Rather than just wholesale. Oh, yeah, wholesale 100 deals a year. Okay, great. Like, how do I help you? Oh, send me deals. No. Right? It's deeper than that. That you get me?
Yeah, and I'll give you a powerful statement that I didn't learn until a few years ago. I wish somebody would have told me in my early 20s. I'll give you guys the same advice. This will take you from amateur to professional overnight. Literally overnight. One thing that your audience can do right now. When we meet people as young, ambitious men, we go, immediately, we try to get married. Hey, man, how can I help you? Dude, super successful people don't need your help. Super successful people don't want to be sold into a partnership. People got shit on the go. They don't need you, period. So you meet a super successful guy. Hey, man, how can I help you? You can't help me, bro. Not today. I stopped asking people, how can I help? I stopped giving the gift of me being willing to help. Hey, man, how can I help you? How can I help you? We all know how we can help you. Support. Literally support. So what I do today, instead of trying to go, how can I help you? How can we do business? How can we do this? You come across as needy and desperate when you do that, especially at events, especially with real rock stars. Stop. Literally stop. Just get to know people for who they are. Get to know their alignment in life. Once you know what their alignment is, then you can support. And when the moment is right, and if it's in alignment and it is actually your skill set and you do have a real opportunity, then you can go, listen, I have a gift for you. Are you willing to hear me out on this gift? I have an incredible idea that I think will help both of us because now I actually know you. There's nothing worse than being a young guy going, hey, how's it going? How can I help your business? I don't know, bro. I don't even know who you are. I don't know what you do. I don't know what you're all about. You actually create more pressure and tension by putting yourself out there to help you in your business than you do create a relationship. So my big secret is this: be relational. That's it. And here's what's going to happen. When the moment is right, it's usually in private. The person usually will approach you or you'll approach them going, hey, I like you, man. You're an awesome guy. You're not pressuring me into business. You're not pressuring me into like trying to do something together. It's not uncomfortable. I don't have to push you away, right? But I like you a lot and I have an opportunity and I think you're a great fit and I'd love to take you on my journey with me. And that's when the most powerful relationships get built. That's when the most powerful business deals happen, is when after all the hard work on the relationship side is done, then the alignment speaks, not the grinder. When the grinder speaks, you actually make the other person uncomfortable. You want to give a gift and you have good intentions, but when you give a gift and it doesn't get received, there is no worse feeling in the world. You create an indebtedness and obligation to the other person to now reject or accept, and that's really, really dangerous. So I learned to stop, because I used to do the same thing every event. Here's my business card. How can I help you? I literally don't know. I literally don't have a clue, because I don't know who you are, not what you do. It don't matter that you do taxes for people. It don't matter that you flip houses for people. I don't know who you are. I don't know if you have an IRS lien against your stuff. I don't know who you are right now. So take the time to get to know people. That one thing, if you can switch that, you will go from amateur to pro overnight, especially in a mastermind room. Because nobody will tell you this because they don't have the courage to say it. But when you show up going, hey man, how can I bring value to your business? Everybody asks that question. Every single person. Don't ask, just do it. Find out what they're doing. If they have an event, support their event. They got a business, support their business. You know what brings value? Referrals, customers, dollars. Hey man, I got my brother over here, my buddy, and he's looking to buy property. I know y'all have properties. Yo, I don't want to create more work for you, but I think you guys might want to do business. Who should I plug him in on your team? Because when you give the receiving party work to do, it's no longer a favor. It's no longer help. It's like when people go, hey, Humble, you're amazing, bro. Let me come and work for you for free. Bro, you're just giving me way more work. That doesn't help me. Because when you work for free for somebody, you have zero experience. Guess what's going to happen in 6 months? You're going to get a college degree in business, and I'm going to get somebody who I got to keep feeding every 30 days, right? You're going to consume my resources, time, and energy, and you're not going to be able to give me anything of value for at least 30, 60 days. You got a college degree, right? I got a stray dog. Is what I'm saying to you. So when we do this stuff, when we lead with intention, we got to also lead with wisdom. And until somebody tells you, we keep doing this thing. So it's like, hey guys, what can I do for you? Hey guys, what's going on in your life? It's a different question. It's a different tone. What's going on in your life? Hey man, I'm doing this podcast. Bro, that's amazing. Unless you ask me to be on this show, I'm not going to inject myself in your world. Hey man, I'm fucking awesome on podcast. I'll come and do it for you. You'll owe me one later. Right? You'll owe me one later because I'm so good at podcasts. I'm the best.
I love that. Yeah. And I mean, honestly, what happens is the business becomes the easy part, right? Like if you don't align with somebody, if you don't vibe with somebody, that's going to make business really tough. But once you guys are on the same page, you know, this person is a great person. I not only will I do business with him, but like I bought him, I'll hang out with this person, right? Like that's when the business becomes extremely easy. I love that.
I hope that nugget helps, boys. Like I just found that out the hard way. I had somebody say to me, hey man, you're putting yourself out there so much, you actually offending people. Literally, you're offending people with what you're doing because nobody knows your intentions. When you meet somebody the first time, they're like, hey, let me do this for you. There you go, red flag. What's your intention? Everybody wants something from a successful person all the time. I'm sure people reach out, hey man, let me do this, let me do this, let me do that. What do you want? What do you actually want? Why are you doing it? Are you doing it because you actually care? I gave somebody a gift one time, and I was like, hey man, I gave you a gift, and this is a true story. It's a personal story, so it's a little bit vulnerable. I gave the guy a gift that I worked really, really hard on. I built this thing. I spent money on it. I sent him this gift, and I wanted him to share it out because I thought this gift was so amazing. And I'm like, this is cool. It's unique. Nobody's ever done this for you before. I know because I've watched your stuff. I follow you. Here's the gift. This was a few years ago. I give him the gift, and he doesn't share it out. He doesn't say anything about it. He doesn't even say thank you. Nothing. So I reach out, hey man, you don't like my gift? Hey man, what's going on? Is the gift not good? Hey, why don't you share the gift? And he's like, why did you give me this in the first place? Did you give me this gift so I would share it out with everybody so people would know who you are? Or did you give me this gift because you actually wanted to give me a gift? Did you give me a gift so you could feel a certain way? So you could get something from me? Or did you give me this gift because you actually cared about me as a human being? And it freaking rocked my world. I did it with great intention. I wanted to show the guy that, he's important. He had awesome stuff. And I wanted him to share the shit out. I wanted both.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually apologized to the dude. I just talked to him a few weeks ago. Everything's cool, by the way. And he still hasn't shared it out. And it's been years. And it's all good. Because now when I give a gift, I've learned to do this. Lower your expectations.
Yeah.
Plant better intentions, lower expectations. Your life will be measurably better. That's it. Simple as that. When I meet you, Mike, I'm like, hey, man, I believe in you. You're an awesome person. It's so good to meet you. My intention is to get to know you. That's it. Boom. Zero expectations. Zero. And then if you do something, then I get to go, wow, Mike's an awesome dude. He did something cool because my expectation was down here and you did this. But if I make this massive expectation, Mike, call me. I'll call you, bro. We'll do the thing and then the thing and then the thing and then we'll partner up and we'll do this and then we'll fire Daryl and then I'll do the podcast with you together. We don't need this guy. Boom, boom, boom. And I'm betting. And then all of a sudden you don't do any of that stuff. And all of a sudden I go, oh, Mike's a loser, man. Man, Mike sucks, bro. He didn't do what I wanted Mike to do. It's powerful.
Under promise, over deliver.
Just lower your expectations. Just be honest with people. Plant good seeds. Lower your expectations. If you give money for a mastermind, don't expect anything from the person running it. Just show up. Be a good dude, and things will happen.
Yeah.
That's big.
Yo, Ben, this is probably that last little piece of this, right? And we've had a lot of high level people on here so far, but I can tell, at least selfishly, that was probably the biggest thing that I've got out of all the podcasts we've done. Like, bro, that was amazing.
Dude, my pain is your gain. I love to share this stuff because if I can help you avoid, the wasted time, energy, and intention, dude, life becomes so much easier when you're not trying to sell everybody. When you first get into business, it's all about sales and convincing people to buy your stuff. When you get into a mastermind, all of those people know how to do sales. It's no longer about sales. Now it's about connections. Now it's about being real, being human. That's the truth.
So good, bro. Dow, do you have anything else to ask?
Bro, nah, no questions. My notepad is filled up. If you guys are watching, I hope you guys are taking notes because this is mind blowing, bro.
Please, if you're watching this, please share it on your Instagram, share it on whatever. Tag Ben. Ben, where do they get you at on IG?
IG Ben Humble CEO. Guys, with stuff like this, everybody's like, share. You should share. If you got something from here that you can use to better your life, you need to just help other people get the same value. That's what sharing is. It's not to boost our egos, but if you found something that you can truly lean on tactically to help yourself, let somebody know. Let one person know. Don't just share it on your social. Send the link to a friend and go, yo, man, you got to check this out. I got this piece. This is what I got. You can get this piece. If you do that, you're living in the honor and integrity of what we're talking about here today. You're planting good quality seed. This is a gift to somebody else who will never hear this message. And then if you share it to social, that's fantastic. But just send it to one friend. It's so powerful to go, hey, at 58 minutes and 36 seconds, this thing was said, and you need to know this thing is powerful. So friends, if you're listening, I just think we need to create more impact in the world. And I appreciate you guys for just doing an amazing job, just sharing the message of abundance with people. and I'm happy to support and just, you know, I'm going to be your champion, cheering you guys on behind the scenes on this.
That's awesome, bro. I appreciate that. I was actually thinking about this while we were talking, and I'm like, all right, I got to send this to that dude at this amount of time because he said something really good here, and I know that person could probably use it. So good, bro. I freaking love that you came on here. You're a beast. Appreciate you, bro. Are you going to be in Atlanta for the Avengers Mastermind in September?
Good chance. Yeah, good chance I'll be there. I've got 2 months of travel. We're running an amazing retreat at the end of June in Denver, Colorado. So, you know, we love on people for 3-4 days. And, you know, we just, it's life changing, mind, body, spirit, real estate. So I'm going to be there next month. I'm super excited to connect with people there that are flying out for this event. And then I'm actually running, my good friend and mentor, Mark Evans, is running an event in Ohio for business guys. It's probably like it's one of the more high-end, top-tier conversations. And Mark throws the best events. It's in Ohio, June 28th. There's be about 400 or 500 like top-notch real estate guys there. So I'm going to be flying in for there. And then I'm flying in for 100M. So, dude, I have event, 100M. So I'll be on the road the next couple months doing different stuff here. But just loving on people, serving on people, and just excited to do life, man. Just, you know, you make money and impact. Have a great life and be able to live in faith. Everything is an and in my world, not an or. So you guys are amazing and you're fucking killers. I love it. And you're super genuine. I love all that stuff.
Love it, bro. Thank you so much.
Yo, so we're gonna wrap up, guys. If you guys aren't following Ben on Instagram, go follow Ben on Instagram. Subscribe to his YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTubes. Like this video, and we'll catch you out next week, Saturday. Ben, I appreciate you so much, bro.
Appreciate you, dog.